Joining me again on set is Prue McSween. Now, Prue, we're going to talk about our losers of the week, and yours this week is the hypocrites at COP29 who want us to give up meat, yet here they are feasting on burgers and hot dogs.
There is a line at COP29's food court for the buffet serving meat, another buffet serving meat, and here is the vegan-only restaurant. Doesn't quite look like the same amount of interest by the UN delegation here.
Uh-oh, Prue, uh-oh.
Well, it's very hard to be, true to your principles when you're a carnivore and, you just compromise because there's all this other mob of pretenders and hypocrites standing there and, you just know you're going to succumb to a good old piece of meat. There's a mob called Pro-Veg that's been lecturing and hectoring everyone because they found it so outrageous that there was even meat offered and lecturing people and making sure that when it's in Brazil next year, it's going to be more than 50% for the vegans.
Yeah.
So they'll all have to go and have sly burgers on the side somewhere else.
A bit of salad here and there, alfalfa sprouts.
This is the whole epitome of what's wrong with COP29. It's a total lying, farcical joke. It's a bunch of pretenders and grifters who've got there, who just want to trade money from the developed countries to the underdeveloped countries, like China, of course.
Oh,
Can you believe China has the hide to ask for 1.3 trillion or something ridiculous? And this mug idiot we've got, who's an energy minister, Bowen, is bending over backwards to make sure he can serve it up. Cop this, China, at COP. 29.
It's so pathetic.
Oh, he is so disgusting.
But I was talking about this earlier. It was a farcical conference from the beginning. The fact that the Taliban rocked up, it just speaks volumes of what sort of a conference is. And then the welcome to country by the Australian delegation. What a joke.
Totally.
Joke.
And they didn't even have anything to really announce at the end of it. It ended with a whimper, which it should have done.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're even vying for it, in 2 years' time, you think, you've got to be kidding.
Oh, please.
I mean, I would come there with a placard and go for broke.
I would pay money to see you with a placard.
Honestly.
It would be the highlight of my life to see you there like this. It would be fantastic. Now, look, my loser of the week, I've got to give it this week again to the US left-wing media because they really are capitulating into oblivion, aren't they? Let's start with the hosts of Morning Joe on MSNBC grovelling to Donald Trump.
Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit.
Oh, please, how pathetic. And here is The View co-host Sunny Hostin, who had to make a legal note correction about Trump's now former Attorney General pick, Matt Gaetz, after she trashed him.
Sunny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
Oh, was that a hostage video or was it actually The View? Yes, it was The View indeed. I mean, how pathetic are they? Seriously, they're not coping, Proof.
No, they're not.
They're losing it. They're losing their minds.
She sounded so sincere, didn't she?
Very sincere.
Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia.
Oh, bit of
could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Release the Diddy files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites. I wonder if they had carpet burns, those SMS fools.
The grovelling, you know, what was the point? You've called him Hitler, you've called him a dictator, you've called him all these slurs over the years only to trot yourself off to Mar-a-Lago and hope for the very best.
Well, Trump must have loved it. I bet he really will make them pay. And, you know, he's not an idiot. So we know those two morons are going to just get their comeuppance somewhere along the line. But I just find the hypocrisy of all these people is just astounding. And look, it's just so wonderful to see them cowering and grovelling like that.
Isn't it beautiful
you know,
stuff?
the true characters are coming out that they've got no character, that they actually have no courage of their convictions.
Nothing at all. Well, MSNBC's hemorrhaging in the ratings, and well, I hate to say it, but
give MSNBC a miss.
SMS, as you now call them. Prove it, Sweet. Great to see you. We'll do it all again next week.